Hello and welcome back to the No Flipping Excuses channel. My name is Michael Bretthauer, and today I'm joined by Jason Palliser. Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk about one of my favorite exit strategies. So be prepared to take notes, folks, and use this in every single conversation that you have with a homeowner.
Seriously, yeah. I don't want to take too much away from you because this seriously is probably one of your favorite topics to talk about. How to talk to a seller and come to terms, how to create that deal. Let's talk about overcoming the objections, some of the pitfalls and stuff that you come across, and how you have come across all the objections and figured out, okay, these are the things that I need to say, and put the property owner in a mindset that I can work with them.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to talk about, hey, how do I negotiate some favorable terms and get a seller to agree to some seller financing, right? And again, I like to just kind of lay everything out on the table so that we all know where we're going and what we're playing with, and then kind of build upon it, right? So why are we talking about seller financing? Why are we even filling property owner's brain with information like that? Here's why. Where you disagree on price, even if you're the best negotiator on earth, 99% of the time a homeowner is going to want more than what you want to pay, and now you're trying to find a way to bridge the gap if your only avenue is to just simply find a way to come to a cash offer price on the property. But when you're equipped with other things that you can offer them, now all of a sudden you've opened up. Every time you talk to a property owner, you have a different way, another opportunity to close the deal where others can't. That's why this is important, is where we broach the subject with the homeowner to finance the home to us, right? So before I go into that in terms and what they may say, and by the way, subscribe to the channel. Like and comment on that if you have questions. The more you ask questions, the more we'll clarify. The more you ask questions, then it becomes a new video that we'll put on our schedule so that we can help you. It's our goal to touch every single real estate investor in America, and we want to do that in short order. So, and as the ultimate thank you for the good information that we're dropping on you, we would just simply ask that you share our channel with other investors. So greatly appreciate it. But again, let's kind of dive into this. I'm going to talk to you before I talk about the terms part of it and negotiations. Teach negotiations. The number one rule: seller always wants more than what you want to pay. So be prepared to disagree on price, but then offer other options, which is what we're talking about here. So I'm going to give you the flow of kind of how that happens, because whether you know it or not, at our workshops that we do, on top of showing how people how to smoke their market with 34 lead funnels, on day 2 of what we call a 2-day blueprint, we talk about negotiations. Some companies just schedule a blueprint with us to learn the negotiations part. So let's talk about that part first. So what we do is we teach you to go into battle. Okay. So we teach you, Mike, as you know, we teach you to go into battle knowing the number one rule is seller always wants more than what you want to pay.
Wait, hold on. Do you mean a seller never comes to you and says, hey, you want to offer me 65%? Minus your wholesale fee, of course. Absolutely. Where do I sign?
Yeah. Take my house.
That doesn't happen?
No, as a matter of fact, it typically doesn't happen.
Well, then
Mike.
I guess we better learn a little bit more about how to negotiate with the seller and come to those terms.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's dig into this. So here's kind of the flow of it. And we have multiple things that we do. We call it a Seller Waltz. There's a 4-minute polite Seller Waltz that we go into with a property owner. And when you do this right, you'll find yourself going, wow, real estate investing isn't hard. In fact, hey, seller, can we get to the point to where we disagree on price so I can actually go through my Seller Waltz with you and get to the finish line? That's what negotiations is all about, right? So I'm going to give you a little bit of that. I'm not going to go into the full blown. I'm just talking about one technique on top of our cash offer. Okay. So what typically happens is this, and I always like to use easy number, insert your property values and sales prices in your marketplace. I'm just using easy numbers for everybody. Seller wants 100 grand, you're at 85. Okay. Hey, look, so here's how we do it. Hey, if we can close on the date that we talked about earlier, that would be good for you, and build a contract that meets your expectations on a closing date, and we could pay cash. how low could you go? If we can pay cash and you don't have to lift a finger, we'll help you do this, move, donate items, blah, blah, blah. And then we shut up, see what they say. Well, I don't know. Like I told you before you even came out, I'm looking to get $100,000 for the property. Well, hey, look, we do a lot of these. I'll talk to my partner. I could be wrong, but I think based upon what I see here, we might be closer to 85. Having said that, I told you earlier, there's other ways that we could work with you. This is where I go. Again, I'm not doing a full-blown seller negotiations, Walt. I'm just teaching you one extra thing that we do specifically right now, seller financing. So I would go into, hey, there's other ways that we could work with you. If you're interested, let me know. If you're not, no big deal. I'll tell my partner. We just want to find a way to make the biggest impact for you and solve your problems and find a way that we could work together where it's a win-win. So another thing that we could do besides the cash route, which is where we normally go, is simply this. Okay, so the other thing that we could do, Mr. Mike, is if you're open to financing the property to us, basically being the bank, we may be able to meet you at the 100 that you said. Here's why. Now, we don't have to go get a loan, so that works for us. And then on your end, you get the dollar amount that you want. And so a lot of times the seller will be like, okay, well, how does that work? Tell me more.
Exactly. Like what does that mean for me exactly?
Yeah. So Mike may say, well, can you explain that? What does it mean? So here's how it works, Mike. If you're open to that, I'll simply call the title company and say, hey, here's what we've agreed upon. We'll do a normal contract at the dollar amount you want, the $100,000 here. We're willing to come up if we don't have to go to a bank and go through all the paperwork and all the process to get a loan. And in fact, what we typically do is, if you're open to doing that, you'll end up with the money you want, and we'll start at a 0 interest rate. That helps us pay it down faster, which makes it a lot easier to pay the price that you want if that's something that you're open to. Are you open to that?
So you're saying that I'm going to get my full $100,000, and I don't have to worry about the bank. No funny business, no paperwork. It's just...
Yeah. If you agree to that and you're willing to finance it, here's the other thing. You don't have to wait for me to go get financing. So absolutely, without a doubt.
So how quickly are we talking about closing here?
As fast as title can run title work to see what needs to be paid off. If there's anything on title that you're unaware of or that we're unaware of, once we get clear title, which is usually in 48 hours to 72 hours, they can get to work on the paperwork. And there's no reason that we come to an agreement. There's no reason that we can't close in 10 days to 15 days.
Whether I'm a unicorn deal and I'm just one of those people that you never hear of, or I'm just the everyday person you come across, those aren't bad terms. I get the 100,000 that I want. I'm getting the cash relatively quick, really fast, and we're still going through title, so I know everything's legit.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely. The title company's job is to insure title, just like you have car insurance in case something goes wrong, accident, rain, whatever, somebody hits you, the insurance covers you. That's the same thing with the title insurance. They insure the title, they do make sure all the paperwork's right, and it's in their best interest to do it because if anything's wrong, they're on the hook for it. They have to pay for it, right? So absolutely, without a doubt, and I can have you talk directly with the title company, and any questions that you have between myself and them, we'll get them answered for you so that you feel comfortable.
Hey, go grab a copy of our brand new book. We'd love to put this in your hands. The Art of Flipping Deals. You could go grab your copy today at theflippingbook.com. Make sure you head on over to theflippingbook.com. We'd love to get this in your hands today and show you exactly how you could get free exclusive inbound leads in your business today. Make sure you head on over to theflippingbook.com. Take care. Bye.
Having said that, folks, Mike, I'm going to have you be interested, but then say, well, I don't know if I'm going to do this and just be the bank,
I could do
0% doesn't really sit well with me. I'd probably want to, so say that to me.
Oh, I do want some interest. What 0% is kind of like giving you a free house. I'm not really getting anything out of this.
Hey, if it's free, I'll pay whatever interest you want. If it's free, we'll just sell it to me for $1 and you want 1,000% interest, I'll just pay 1,000% interest.
No, but okay, let's say, no, you know what, 0% interest.
And again, I'm just playing with the homeowner. I like to keep things light with the homeowner.
This is exactly how we would have the conversation, by the way. So this is a preview of what would happen.
Negotiations nationally. If you have problems talking to the seller, hit us up. And in fact, maybe there's on our videos, we don't normally talk about it, but look, we do workshops, full blown take over a market 34 ways about 10 times a year. If you want to talk to us about that and say, hey, look, you have 34 ways to grab leads and not the 2 that I'm doing. Yes, we do. You can teach me deal structure negotiations. I was just making Mike fumble. That's what I do for a living is negotiate. Okay. And you want to talk to us, just go to my blueprint because we call it a 2-day blueprint. Just go to myblueprintcall.com and answer a couple questions. By the way, be truthful with your questions so that when you schedule a call with us, we can have a real conversation with you. 99% of you will talk to me. It'll be my cell phone. But just go to myblueprintcall.com and schedule a call. Hey, yeah, I do want to talk to you about that. I do want to talk about deal structure and negotiations. I would love 34 ways to suffocate my market. So if you want, just go there, answer some questions, schedule a call, and 99% of you will be on the phone with me. The only reason you won't be is if I'm on vacation or on a flight somewhere.
To that point, I tell you, you know what, 0% interest really doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I need a little something.
Yeah. So again, teaching you the Seller Waltz, you're prepared for that now, right? So here's what we do. Okay. Well, look, I understand that. I'm coming up on price. I'm giving you the dollar amount you want. And, if you want some interest, so you'll actually end up making more money than 100 that you wanted. I'm open to that. I'll talk to my partner, but one thing I just want to make sure of right out of the gate, because I want to make sure that we can do business together, is that if market, we usually do, if we do agree to also pay interest on top of that, we're usually anywhere from 1% to 3% interest, which means you do end up making more money, which we're open to that, which means that we know we got a good interest rate, which is better that we can go to our bank and get. And again, that's why we're willing to pay more. So if something like that is of interest to you, I'll talk to my partner and then we'll take the next step, which is simply writing a contract. And then I will call the title company. I will copy you in and on an email and say, hey, here are the terms. Can you draw up the paperwork for us? Is that something that would work for you then?
Yeah. I mean, as long as the terms make sense, then it seems fair.
Okay, so I'll say let's meet in the middle on it and let's do 2%. Give me, as soon as we're done with the conversation, I'll call my partner, tell him what we're talking about. I'll tell him, hey, we're going to come up on price because you're willing to be the bank for us. Folks, that's how you do it. And I'm prepared for it. And what I wanted you, it's subtle. Again, negotiations, technique. No matter what the homeowner says, I need a better... I don't change my demeanor.
Well, then that was going to be my point. So let's just say that you had said 2.5%. I was like, no, that still doesn't do it for me. You're just going to repeat what you did. Well, I got to talk to my business partner. You like to blame it on the business partner.
Blame it on your boss.
And hey, I got to talk to my boss, my business partner. I don't know if I can come above 2%, but if I could, maybe, are you saying if I couldn't come to 2%, we can't make a deal?
That's right. Now,
maybe I jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
No. Mike's right. I'm just going to tweak one thing for Mike. He goes, so if we couldn't do the 2.5%, so we can't do a deal. I don't like to speak in terms of deal, so we can't do business together.
Yeah.
No, look, the homeowner wants to be done just as bad, just as worried as you are about negotiating with them. So here's where we start to turn you into a pro. Okay. If Mike said that to me, well, Jason, I need a larger interest rate. So go ahead and say that to me.
Jason, I need a larger interest rate.
Okay. So Mike, just so I understand, so that I don't waste your time, when I talk to my partner, I'll tell him we're coming up to your price, which you said you're open to, the financing, which we want to work together with you on that. But now I'm going to go back to him and say, hey, the 2.5%, he said that he wanted more. Again, I'll have the conversation with him, but just so that I don't waste your time, if I talk to my partner who says, hey, you know what? We'll come up on price. We'll close on the date that he wants. But we need to be at 2.5%. Are you saying that we couldn't do business together then? You shut up.
I'm going to have to think about that one.
You shut up. You don't say anything back, because 99% of the time, the person on the other end never wants to say, well, we can't do business. Well, I'm not saying that, but I might want to hire. When they say,
kind of what I'm saying. I wasn't saying that.
Yeah. So when they say, well, I'm not saying that, I never let them finish their sentence. I cut them off. Okay, good. I was just making sure, because now I got them right back down to where I want them to be. Well, I'm not saying that. I never let them finish their sentence, but I needed more. So I cut them off. I'm like, okay, I'm just making sure I didn't want to waste your time when I talked to my partner. Now I'm going to anchor in and I'm going to get that 2.5%. So folks, we walked you through how we work and negotiate hopefully this is impactful for you. I actually went way deeper into a Seller Waltz than I normally would publicly. But yeah, you're squeezing me again. And so having said that, if you like this, then subscribe to the channel. If you have questions on it, put it in the comments. If you liked it, put it in the comments. And here's what I'd really like to know. Look, if we're helping you, we want feedback. Let us know. Look, we know you've looked at other videos online and you're trying to gain as much information as you can. If you've watched some of our videos, tell us where we stack up. I want to know, right? Did this help you? Do you have a better understanding? Do you see how you can disagree on price and flow easily into this? If this is impactful for you, then subscribe to the channel, like it, comment, and the ultimate thank you is sharing it with other investors. Other than that, I don't have anything else to add, and stay tuned for the next video.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys in the next video. Jason, thanks again, and thank you all.
Bye, guys, gals.